Morning, everybody. How the hell you doing? See back over there over my shoulder, the sun's not quite up out of the ground, but it's coming real quick. Big day today. Big Blue's getting a front end loader workout today, or at least he's supposed to be getting a front end loader workout today. I have not had a text message or a phone call to say otherwise, so I'm assuming today is Chow making day. We're chopping up some feed, as Piper Doug and Mr. Schwarzeneggers would say. Get to the chopper! In this place, it's a tub grinder. So, I gotta feed a little bit of grain here to my girls, and I think I'm gonna drop them a bale. They got a little bit of feed left in the bottom of the feeder, but instead of making them clean it right up, I'm gonna add a bale in, a grass bale this time. Last time they had an alfalfa bale, so this time we'll give them a grass bale. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. We'll bring it back once we're grinding. Talk to you then. Alrighty guys, so brought you back a little quicker than I said I was going to. I was thinking, I don't know, weigh one of these pails, the new grind stuff. The old pail, the old grind had a lot more oats. It was mostly oats in it. A little bit of barley, a little bit of peas. This time, it's peas, oats, barley. A little bit of peas, a little bit of oats, heavy on the barley, and then all of our pellet. You can see the pellet right here. It's all mixed in there also. But these pails definitely are heavier than the oats. The oats was 23.5 pounds per pail. Take a pound off for the friggin' pail, pound and a half. This stuff, she is leveled right out on 30, basically. So we're basically 20 pounds, 29 pounds of grain in that pail. So 29, we can cut them back. I was up to 4 pails a day, morning and night, and now we're going to go back to 6 pails, which will be lots, and we'll see how they do with that. Once I do my calculations, who knows, I might even cut them back to 5 pails, 3 in the morning, or 3 in the evening, 2 in the morning type of thing, because we got to keep them eating a certain amount of roughage too. So anyways, just letting you know, that's the difference when you're doing a tank of grain with the mix mill. When it's half the tank load is barley, it's going to be a lot heavier. Talk to you later. Alrighty, friends and neighbors, here it is, making Chow 2023. It's a long ways up there. Lots of you guys have seen this before, but for anybody that has not, this is a big bite. I think it's an H1100. It's actually a pull type that was converted and mounted onto this, I believe it's an international truck. I'd have to double check on that. These guys is Crest Livestock. They run a shitload of cows, and they have a feedlot of around, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500, something like that. And then they do a little bit of custom tub grinding on the side and so on and so forth. It's a little bit windier than I would like for today, but some bitch, getting dust cloud everywhere, but whatever. We got to get some tub grinding done, so get these cows on a cut feed ration. And Cresses are friggin' busy guys with this machine this time of the year, so I'm not going to cancel and have them come back a different day. The wind is supposed to get up to like 40k, which is a little bit stronger than I'd like, because as you can see there, the chaff was blowing far away. And the whole yard is going to be chaffy for a little while, but whatever. It is what it is, and I can't do much about it. Careful, don't hit the gate. Just trying to get these bales cleared away from this gateway, so give myself a little more turning radius. But anyways, yeah, we are here. We are freaking grinding. We're going to do about 125 to 150 bales here today. And then we got to go to our friend's place and load the machine over there, because his tractor won't lift high enough to get the bales in it. So yeah, it's going to be a busy day of tub grinding all day long. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, and we'll bring you back a little bit later, and we'll discuss the ration that we're doing and go from there. Alrighty, see you guys. Stuff that's blowing out, and it's there's a lot of grain in some of these bales. So we got green feed oats, yellow feed barley mixed with alfalfa, clover, and alfalfa grass. There's no straw going in this mix. That's what the pile looks like already, and we've only been grinding basically for a half hour. She's going to be one hell of a big pile by the end of the day. Anywho, I'm going to keep rocking here. We'll talk to you guys later. So basically, we set the bales in. For anybody that doesn't know, pick them all the way up, let them fall in. On the underside of that tub, there's a big rotor with a whole bunch of hammers attached to it that chops the bale up, sends it into the conveyor, and then up. And being that I'm doing multiple different feed sources, from really good hay, actually I got a few bales of this year's hay in here too. You can kind of see how green that's coming out of there right now. And last year's hay, all the different. So as it cascades down, that's how it mixes. That bale that I just set in is a bale from last year that was rained on. The bale that was in it before is of this year's hay bale. And it just, you can see it falling down. And it just keeps falling down and cascading on top of itself. And that's how it mixes up. And then as I go in there with the loader, I'll mix it up more just by moving it around a little bit as we're feeding. And it's kind of basically a cheap man's TMR, more or less, in our situation. All dry feed, trying to give the cows the best feed that we can without having to spend a pile of money on chopping silage and so on and so forth. It's a dry feed ration. I know the feedlots, they do a lot of, all of the big feedlot guys, they do a lot of tub grinding, but then they're also mixing the dry feed with the wet feed. So in our case, with the barley and the oats and all the grains that are going into this stuff, these cows are going to do phenomenal on this stuff. Once they get onto it, they're going to fatten up really nicely, and we'll be able to winter the storm quite nicely also. Winter off a lot better. How's that sound? Winter the storm, any storm. Anyway, it's going nice. It's going good. We're damn close to 30 bales in that pile right now. So I'll let you guys go. Talk to you in a little while. Alrighty, so the machine is a Haybuster H1130 Big Bite. The truck is an older Volvo with a 425 cat under the hood. They got a splitter type transmission, so when they put her in gear, they got to disconnect. There's a disconnection on the transmission, and then it disconnects the transmission from the truck and hooks it up to the drive line for the machine. It's quite the assembly that they got going on here. Back you up. There we go. Basically with the bales, I almost have to grab them 2 times because they're tight to each other, and I don't want the weight all on the one side of the loader all the time, especially when you're pretty much maxing your loader all the way to the top. It could cause the tractor to be tippy. So we grab them, pull them away from the stack, then re-grab more centralized. Just let the tractor basically run at 1550 RPM and set the idle right there like that and leave her there for the next 4 hours. I won't go past 4. We started at 9:45 and Fallon just told me that we did 36 bales in the first hour. I don't know if they've changed their prices any, but if I remember correctly, last year we were $2.25 or $2.50 an hour plus fuel. So don't ask me how many gallons an hour this machine burns. I can't answer that question. I would imagine it's at least 10. Maybe a little more. And Mocha Dog, I have to really watch her with the shadow, the way the sun is. She's always in there, down there, looking for mousers. She's grabbed quite a few so far. But I gotta watch when I'm coming into the bale stack so I don't friggin' catch her with the tractor tire, because if she's on the hunt hardcore, she doesn't really pay attention to what the hell I'm doing. She's just worried about that mouse and where it's at. And I always try to have a bale going into the machine before the one that's already in it is gone. That way when it falls in, it doesn't fall so heavy, so hard. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna keep rocking here. There's lots of grinding to be done yet. Alrighty guys. So he's just gonna pull ahead here finally. We've got probably close to around 60 bales in that pile right now. Another hunter. Maybe not. He wasn't dressed in orange. But he's got to shut the drive line down. He does that from inside the truck. It's just a matter of like an air switch. And when it's completely stopped turning, then basically he hits the switch and diverts power to the drive line of the truck. so he could pull ahead. There's just not quite enough of a hilltop here for him to just roll ahead. He actually has to pull ahead a little bit. He already pulled ahead. You can see the machine's about 2 feet. There it is. Oh, he's going to move completely over. Works for me. If he lowers that conveyor down a little bit, then we won't have so much. You can see right here I pushed a little bit up from the chaff that's falling on the ground. Lowers that conveyor down, then the pile that's already there should catch a bunch of that chaff. Anyway, that's how she goes. Talk to you later. So just to give you guys an idea, you see all this grains? All this stuff down here? Some peas, oats, barley. Well, that's just from a couple bales right here that the mice chewed on and pulled the grains out. But a majority of that grain is in that pile, along with a lot of hay, clover. It's all mixed together. And if anybody's wondering or asking, well, what about the twine? Well, in that big drum that chops up the feed, it'll pick up actually like friggin' 95 to 98% of the twine. So as the winter continues and we get into feeding this stuff, I'll show you what the twine looks like in there. It's just little tiny pieces, 6-8 inches long type of thing. So it's really not that big a deal. And twines that are hanging here, like right now, you can see them there on the bottom side of the bucket. They're kind of stuck on. I'm actually just dumping it all in a pile right here. They get kind of caught up in the loader a little bit. There, gonzo. And we'll clean that up at a later date. So yeah, the twine is not an issue when you're feeding it. Alrighty, let's keep on rocking. Alrighty guys, so here we're doing a small second pile. It's going to be about 20 bales. And this pile is specifically for the heifers only, our replacement calves. Feeder heifers, replacement heifers, whatever you want to call it. I'll be putting them on a fence line feed here eventually. And this pile right here, you can see it's in a separate pile. It's up against the other one, but it's pure hay. No green feed, no yellow feed, no clover, just alfalfa grass hay. Some of it is carryover hay from last year. Some of it is hay from this year. And then with that, as we're feeding them, I'll top dress that hay with their grain ration that we have set up for them. I want to see how they're going to do with this. I think they'll do quite well with it. But you never know until you try, right? So we're in a really tight area here right now. It's a little bit breezier than I'd like it to be for what we're doing here today, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna let you go. We'll talk to you later. Hey guys, that's the last bale. Started at 9:45. By the time that one's done, it'll be 2 p.m. So what is that, 4 hours? 4.25 hours, something like that. And of our old bales, we still got, well, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30 bales left, and there was around 160, 170 in that stack. So we did approximately 145, 150 bales in just over 4 hours. Can't complain with that too much. Works out to roughly, with fuel included, about $7.50 to $8 a bale. I'm thinking is the way it works out to. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. He needs to clean his machine off. He needs to get fueled up, and we need to get to Daryl's place. My buddy Daryl, there, he's like 20 miles away, so it's gonna take me a good, 45 minutes to drive there with the tractor. We'll talk to you later. Alrighty guys, well, she's 3 o'clock. It took me basically 40 minutes, 45 minutes to get here. So he's bringing the bales to me. So what happens is Daryl or Brad, his son, whoever's in the skid steer, they bring the bales to me, and all I gotta do is pick them up and load them in the machine. So this is first one in at 3 o'clock. It's hammer time. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll bring you all back a little bit later. First one in. Alrighty guys, well, we're just about pushing an hour here. I know it's hard to see, but Daryl doesn't make his pile as high as we do at my place, because he's got these posts like right here. There's another one. There's a bunch all rowed up here, all these posts. And basically he puts like a feeder panel around the pile, and he lets the cows eat into it. Or he fences the pile off on the sides, and the panel, actually, from what I remember, he runs fence along the posts, and then panel goes on the end, and they eat into it this way. So he can't get too high, because the higher you go, the wider the pile is. So he has to, for this to work properly for him, he has to, sorry guys, just trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here as I talk. But he has to keep his pile a little bit lower so it doesn't get too wide and get outside of his post boundary, is what it barrels down to. And I guess it works quite well for him, but I'm not set up like that over here. So, or at my place, I'm not set up to do it that way. I like feeding out in the pasture. With the pile in one spot and the cows eating from one spot, all the manure is in this spot too. So it works well for him. He's only got like 20 cows or 25 cows, something like that. But anywho, sun's starting to go. It's right in the wrong spot for us to see very well. It's right in our eyeballs. And I can only load from this side where we are sitting. Anyway, I will let you guys go, and we'll bring you back a little bit later. Well guys, we're still going here. I'm not sure how many bales Daryl's doing. His bales are like a 5x5. It's a New Holland baler. They weigh 1,000, maybe 1,100 pounds type of thing. He's doing more this year than he normally does. Because last year he ran out, and then he was feeding a lot, and there was a lot of waste out of the round bale feeders. So probably somewhere in between 80 to 100 bales he's going to do this year. Whoa, fuck. Wrong direction. Back up. There we go. Let me tell you, the old leg is going to be sore come tomorrow. Clutch forward, clutch backward, clutch this way, clutch that way. That old left leg is on the freaking clutch constantly. All day long. And so, anyway, I'll bring you guys back when we're all done and I'm heading home. We'll let you go and talk to you later. Alrighty guys, well, we got done grinding. We had supper, we had a couple of wobbly pops, and now I'm just about home. Over there we did about 85 bales. So that should get him through for a better part of the winter for how many animals he's feeding. Apparently, I thought he had like 25 cows. Apparently Daryl's only got like, what the hell did he say, 13 or 15 with the bulls, something like that. But all the calves are still on the cows at this point. He hasn't pulled the calves yet. So he's hoping to get that done here fairly soon. So yeah, you grind up that big pile of feed the way we had it there, and that'll last them cows a long goddamn time. And he was doing a green feed oat and alfalfa grass and a little bit of slough hay mix. So anyways, give us the old thumbs up. You know what it is. Comment, subscribe, share the videos. Fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch you all later.